is Shani with Styles by Shani, and today I am doing a consultation video to answer some of your frequently asked questions and show you some visuals of different extension techniques that I offer. Hopefully after you look at this video, you can make a clear, concise decision on which technique will work best for you. I would like to first start off by saying that I have been licensed to do hair since 2008. I started at Empire Beauty School in Baltimore, Maryland in 2006, and I finished at Hair Academy in New Carrollton, Maryland around 2007. I specialize in advanced extension techniques. I've been doing sew and weave since 2001 when I was in high school, and I have been doing strand by strand hair extensions since 2004. I trained under my mother. Her name was Valencia. Her business was Hair by Valencia, and she was a master extensionist. She actually went to hair school when she was pregnant with me, so I am a third generation cosmetologist. And we worked together as a team for several years before she passed away. I'm certified in Dreamcatcher's microlink extensions. I'm also certified to do nano hair extensions through Luxe. I can also do smoothing treatments because I am certified through Keratin Complex. And also I have expertise in all different textures from different cultures of hair. A lot of my clients come from all over the place, from Europe to Mexico to the United States. So I do have expertise in dealing with all different nationalities of hair. I offer many different extension techniques. Aside from the traditional sew-ins, I offer strand by strand micro links. I offer the natural beaded row technique. I also do braidless sew-ins, and I can do the nano link extension technique. I'm constantly researching, looking at other new innovative ways to apply hair extensions in the healthiest way possible, where you can still access your scalp and feel comfortable and look as natural and undetectable as possible. Okay, so I have a mannequin here, and I'm going to show you a few different techniques that I offer, and this will help you get a visual as to how the techniques are applied and what they do and which one you think may be best for you. On the first row, I have the Nano Link hair extensions. These are some of the most smallest undetectable hair extensions on the market. As you can see, there is a bead that I thread over your real hair, and then I slide the extension hair into the bead and clamp it shut. And these are silicone lined nano links. With this technique, I do require that you get a touch-up every 4 to 6 weeks. It is not damaging as long as you get your normal touch-ups and you take proper care of it and brush it daily. After you get a service like this, you will get an aftercare instruction so that you'll know how to properly take care of it. Currently, the vendor that I have that does sell the nano links only sells it in silky hair, so this service is currently only available for girls with a more silkier European texture. Sooner or later, I will look into options for more textured hair with that technique. Alright, let's go to the next one. And the next row, I have one of my most popular hair extension techniques. This is the microlink hair extensions. Of course, just like the nanos, these ones are threaded through your natural hair, and the extension is then slid into the tubes and clamped shut. A lot of people always ask me, are extensions damaging? Do they thin the hair out? And the question to that is there's no yes or no answer. The reason why I say that is because there are some untrained extensionists out there that will put their hair in improperly, and it can cause traction damage, or they won't advise the client as to how soon to come in for their touch-ups. So with this type of technique, you can wear it for 6 months to a year, but you need to come in and get them touched up every 6 to 8 weeks. For the first touch-up, what I do is, as these grow out, I will open up the tubes and I will slide them back into their original position and comb out any shedded hair or residue that you may have collected through the time that you've had them in. After the next 8-week mark, you would then come in for a readjustment. With the readjustment, I would take the whole row out, I would comb out your hair, and then I would just replace it back on there. As long as you're getting your normal retouch and adjustment appointments, this hair extension method is non-damaging, because as I'm moving them, I'm avoiding them from matting and tangling. And just to explain, your hair does shed 100 strands per day. So what will happen is as your hair molts within the strands, if we're not moving them around or retouching them, it can cause additional traction, which can also cause damage as well. So as long as you are okay with frequent salon visits, I will say that this technique is a little more high maintenance, because you do have to come in every month and a half, 2 months to get them readjusted. The readjustments and touch-ups, they take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. You will reuse the same hair, so they're not as expensive as the initial appointment, but again, this will continue to help your hair grow, and it is non-damaging as long as you get your adjustments. And also to add, when you do come in and get your readjustment, if you get your retouch, we will move it up, but after you get your readjustment, the next go round, we can actually take the whole head out if you need to get a trim, if you need to get color services, chemical services, and then we will add the extensions back into the hair. Alright, so the next technique is the hair infusions. This one is the original extension method that we offered back in 2004, 2006, and I actually still offer this technique. This one is applied by heat. A lot of people are a little apprehensive about the hair infusion technique because of the fact that it's applied by heat, but it is non-damaging as well, as long as you do not have the extensions in for too long. For kinkier and curlier textures, I recommend that you wear these extensions from about 3 to 4 months, and after that they should be fully removed and we can re-add them. If you have silkier textures, you can actually wear this hair extension technique for up to 6 months. But again, if you notice any too much matting and tangling, or you're not brushing them properly, then I advise you to come in at the 4-month mark to get them removed. These ones are ideal for clients with finer hair, because we can cut the bonds and customize the size of them to the density of your hair. Just like the microlinks, they are free flowing. You can pull them up in a ponytail. In the next row, this is the beaded weft method. This technique I utilize micro beads to attach the weft to the hair. As you can see, it's very flat. It almost appears as if the track is floating on the scalp, because the beads are actually hidden underneath the weft. This is ideal for a client who may want to try wefts without the bulkiness of braids. For this technique, you can only fit about, for me, I can only fit about a bundle and a bundle and a half of hair. So this is for something if you want a very nice natural density extension technique that is a little less expensive than the strand by strand microlinks. This ranges anywhere from $275 to $350. And last but not least, I have the braidless sewing method. This hair color was actually inspired by my daughter Ani. Her favorite color is purple. With this technique, I use the micro beads to create a foundation, and I sew the wefts on the top and the bottom. So this allows for a very flat install without the bumpiness of braids. With this technique, it is very similar to the beaded weft method. However, this because I am able to sandwich and double up the wefts, it does allow me to add more hair to this service. Again, this service does start between $275 to $350, and the price is contingent upon how much hair you want to use. So if you're starting off with about 4 ounces, you'll be at the lower price, but when you want to add extra bundles or extra hair, then the price does increase because it takes more time. So again, this is the braidless sewing method, also known as the natural beaded row, and this is another technique that I offer. So all techniques are, you have your different options on them. These two at the bottom are a little low maintenance. The top extension methods are something that you would have to go to the salon more often to get. So this is something that you would want to take into consideration with if you're doing the nanos or the micro links. You would have to come into the salon a little more often and dedicate a little more time to your appointment time. So here you go. Those are the different techniques I offer. types of textures that I install in the hair would be straight, wavy, curly, kinky curly, or kinky straight. It is up to you and your option as to what result you would like. One of my favorite textures would be the raw Indian curly hair for relaxed African American hair, because when you straighten it out, it still has a really nice texture, really nice luster that does mimic African American hair. And when you wash it and allow it to curl up, you have an effortless hairstyle, you know, when you're on vacation. I also offer a wavier texture for, you know, girls with wavier hair. And if you, I do offer straight hair for more European, silkier textures. There are custom textures that I offer for my natural girls. So I will look at your natural curl pattern and assess whether it's a 3B, 4A texture, and we will then customize the texture to go with your natural curl pattern. Alongside with that, there is kinky straight. However, the wavy, the straight, and the version curly is unprocessed and it's less expensive. But the custom textures such as the 4B, 4A curly hair and the kinky straight hair do cost a little bit more because we do have to process it to make those textures mimic your natural curl pattern. The cost of the services vary between client and the desired result. And we're talking about micro-length hair extensions. It varies on, you know, exactly where you want to be as far as length, and where your natural length starts in comparison to where you would like your desired length of the extensions. Somebody who would rather have density and volume but don't really want to lengthen their hair too much, maybe paying anywhere between $450 to $650, and that includes the cost of hair. Whereas somebody like me who likes to, I like to wear my natural hair short, but when I wear extensions I like to wear them much longer, would require more hair, more length, maybe paying anywhere from $850 and up. Also, if you do request a custom texture like you know, curly, the 3B, 4A hair, or the kinky straight hair, there may be an additional $50 to $100 upcharge because that is a custom service. So it just varies on what your desired result is. And this is just for micro links. If you're doing something like a braidless sewing or the beaded row method, you're paying anywhere between $250 to $350 for 4 to 6 ounces of hair being installed. But again, the best way to assess it is when I look at your hair and I can compare your natural length compared to the desired result that you want. I can then give you a accurate price quote. I'm sure by now some of you have done your research and compare prices to other companies. If you haven't, I do encourage you to do that. I do have some of the best prices in the area, and I will explain to you why. The best part about when I started doing hair extensions with my mom, she prided herself on making the service very affordable to the everyday woman, not just celebrities and, you know, people, you know, with disposable money. So what we did is we actually custom make the strands for you and for your service, and we pass on that savings to you, whereas a lot of other extensionists buy hair from companies that have already pre-tipped the hair for them, and the companies charge astronomical amounts of money just to prep that hair. So you end up spending $1,200 to get other companies' hair installed, whereas we will get the hair in bulk and we will customize the texture to whatever your texture is, and we will actually make the strands for you. In regards to the micro-link extensions, with the earlier question, you know, giving you some price ranges, that does include the cost of hair. The reason why is because I've already done my research and searched high and low and tried different hair companies, so I do know which companies provide the best quality. At some point, I will be offering my own line of hair that I have tested out, and I found that it's of great quality. Well, the appointment time does vary on which technique you're getting and the desired result. For the microlink installs, usually the average appointment time would be about 3 to 4 hours if you're getting lengthening and you're adding a lot of volume. It can take anywhere up to 5 to 6 hours depending on the amount of fullness you're going to add to your hair. For the nanos usually take about 5 to 6 hours as well. For the braidless and the beaded weft method, those ones do vary. For about 4 ounces of hair, you're looking at a 2-hour appointment. Anything more than that, if you're wanting to add about 2 bundles of hair, I would say allow about 3 to 4 hours for that appointment time. But all of these times do vary and are contingent upon whether you're going to be getting chemical services, whether you're going to be getting a trim, and how you would like it styled after it's done. Each extension method does have a different amount of time that they do last. For the nano and the microlink hair extensions, you can wear those anywhere from 6 to 12 months. However, you will need to get them touched up every couple of months in order to keep a healthy install. With the hair infusions, for finer, silkier textures of hair, you can wear them for up to 6 months. But for curlier, kinkier textures, I recommend that you only wear them for 3 to 4 months. With the braidless technique and the beaded weft method, those techniques last anywhere from, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks. So the less expensive methods do last less amounts of time than the more expensive ones. So again, the initial investment will be the cost of hair, but after that, as long as you're getting your touch-ups, these services will last you a lot longer. There is a stigmatism about hair extensions and that they are not good for your hair and that they are very damaging. Well, the reason why that is true in some regards is because of untrained extension specialists that do apply the hair improperly. There are certain things that you have to look for. There are certain ways that you have to apply strand by strand extensions in order for it to be a healthy install. First and foremost, with any install method, you have to make sure the extension specialist has to make sure they're utilizing enough of the client's natural hair to support that extension and the weight of it without causing additional traction and tension to the hair, and also not instructing your client how soon to come in and get their touch-ups can be a recipe for disaster as well. As long as you're coming in to get your normal touch-ups with your microlink and strand by strand extensions every, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks, then this extension method is not damaging. However, if you keep the extensions in too long without getting it touched up, you do run the risk of matting, entangling, and damage. So in regards to your decision on which technique or which extension method is best for you, it all depends on your lifestyle outside and inside of the salon. If you are a client that is used to going to the salon every 2 weeks, or you have the time to go to the salon more frequently, then you may be able to get a strand by strand microlink technique. However, if you don't have the time to dedicate towards coming to get your touch-ups, you may want to get a braidless or a beaded weft method. Also, if you are natural, you know, it just depends on your natural texture and how well you take care of your real hair. A lot of my clients do come to me and they have gotten, well, they get sew-ins so frequently that they're not used to dealing with their own hair. So when we try a different method, like a strand by strand microlink method that's mixed in with their real hair, they find some challenges because they're not used to dealing with natural hair. So if you are used to dealing with your natural hair, microlinks may be a great option for you. But if you know that you need something that's a little less maintenance, or something that, you know, maybe a little easier to upkeep, you may want to try the braidless or the beaded weft method, or even a traditional sew-in. to use raw virgin unprocessed Indian hair. I pretty much use wavy and curly textures for my clients. If you do have more of a European silky straight texture, I like Bohemi's brand for those textures. I also offer custom textures. So if you have like a 4B, 3B, 4A type of hair texture, these hair extensions can be custom curled to match your natural curl pattern. I do have some girls that are natural that get a wavier curl pattern, but those are women that go to the salon every 2 weeks and get it blown out and pressed out. So me as a beauty professional, I recommend that you get a texture that mimics your natural curl pattern, just in case if you're swimming, or just in case if you're swimming, or just in case if you get caught in the rain, the hair will pretty much mimic and act just the same way as your hair. Also, for some of my girls who, even though I think that the Indian curly hair matches very well with relaxed hair, some of my girls do want a lower luster type of hair texture that mimics more relaxed patterns. So there are some relaxed textures out there that I do work with. So if you want to do a texture like that, it's also available for you. However, I will say this: if you do a custom texture, there is a little bit more maintenance, especially with curly hair, making sure that it doesn't dry out and that you have those defined curls every day. You also have to make sure you're braiding your hair up at night or tying it up at night and not sleeping on a wet head with your extensions to prevent any matting and tangling. But I will give you some aftercare instructions after your appointment to help you to take proper care of it. But even with the kinky straight texture, I always recommend virgin curly hair, because when it's blown out, it mimics relaxed hair, but you can also shampoo it and let it curl up for a carefree, low maintenance hairstyle. Well, the initial cost that I quote you for micro links, nano links, hair extensions, and hair infusions does include the cost of hair. And by me doing that, I can guarantee the quality of the hair and assure you that it will last for 1 to 2 years. Even with the nanos, I have to get those specially made. So I do provide the hair for you, and it's included in the cost of your hair. In regards to swimming and working out, yes, you can swim and work out in your hair extensions. I will say this in regards to what I recommend for extension methods. For the traditional sew-in, although those are great protective styles, if you work out frequently, you sweat often, the sweat does get trapped underneath the braids, which can cause mildew and mold. So you want to make sure that if you do get a sew-in and you're working out a lot, that you are drying the braids daily, which can cause the technique to be a little bit more high maintenance. However, if you get the micro links or a strand by strand hair extension method, they actually work well for women who work out and swim. If you're swimming in ocean water with the microlinks, you are going to want to rinse the attachments after you get out of the salt water, because that prevents the links from discoloring. And also, if you have the hair infusions, you'll want to just go over the bonds with the blow dryer after you swim. You can keep the rest of the hair wet, but that pretty much locks in the hair extensions and allows them to last longer. Located at the Solar Salon Suite in downtown Silver Springs, Maryland. The address is 1133 East West Highway, Silver Springs, Maryland 20910, and I am in Suite 32. So in order to get hair extensions, your hair has to be at least 3 inches long. I will say this: the longer that your hair is, the easier it is to blend. So that if you have about 2 or 3 inches of hair, but you want to go all the way to 24 inches, then you will require more hair, and the service will be more expensive, as opposed to somebody who may already have 20 inches and only want to add 4 inches. So I would say at the minimum, your hair has to at least be about 2 to 3 inches long. Well, it really doesn't matter if you're relaxed or natural. I do offer extension techniques for both textures. However, with being natural, if you're not used to dealing with your own natural hair, or you already feel like your own natural hair is a lot to deal with, the extensions are just going to add to that, so it may even make the service a little bit more high maintenance for you. So that is just something that you want to take into consideration if you're natural and you would like to add extensions to your hair. If it's already fuller, then it will add more work, but you will still get some great results. I would like to thank you for taking time out today to look at this consultation video. I hope that it was very informative. I hope that I answered all the questions that you may have had. And I also hope that this helped you to make a decision as to which extension methods work best for you. The next step would be to click the link below to fill out the online consultation form. That way I can get a good idea of how your hair is and what desired service you would like. From there, we'll do a hair analysis, and once you pay your hair deposit, we can confirm your appointment.